Hey everybody, Ashton here with Gents, and I have finally gotten around to doing it. Yes, it's my top 10 niche list for summer 2017. I know I'm really late with this, so I apologize. I've got a few honorable mentions and then we'll get into the top 10. Honestly, I could have probably made this into a top 50, but nobody wants to see that. Also, just want to let everybody know that for this top 10 list, I only included one fragrance per house. I didn't want to make it where there were like 2 Creeds, 2 Xerjoffs, and take up a whole bunch of the list. So only one fragrance per house. My first honorable mention is going to be Atelier Cologne Grand Neroli. This is one of the monster 200ml bottles. You can pick these up on eBay a lot of the time for really cheap. A lot of the fragrances from Atelier Cologne, so that's a great way to go. Just make sure that it's a respected seller, somebody with like 99.7% feedback that's positive and above, and you should be good to go. It's a Neroli fragrance. It's in the name, so it gets compared to Neroli Portofino, obviously. Not the exact same, just the same way that Bright Neroli from Ferrari is not the exact same as Tom Ford Neroli Portofino. But since Neroli is the main note, there are going to be some obvious similarities. It's lush, it's a little bit green, it's refreshing, it's clean, really nice hot weather summer fragrance. Performance not so great, but the fragrance itself really nice. Honorable mention number 2, Amongst Waves from Gallagher Fragrances. Now Daniel Gallagher is my bro, he's a cool guy, I've talked to him numerous times. Basically with this fragrance it boils down to, do you like the melon note? If the answer is yes, you'll like this fragrance. If the answer is no, you will not like this fragrance. Some people have compared it to like a melon Jolly Rancher, or I compared it to like a melon gummy candy, so it's not going to come across as like a really super natural melon, but it's still really nice, a little bit sweet, fruity, and slightly aquatic. There's a nice patchouli note in the dry down. It's not dirty or skanky or anything like that, and the performance is actually really good. Listen to these birds. The last honorable mention, bondnumber9.com. This has apple, pineapple, blackcurrant, so guess what this smells like? If you aren't already aware, Aventus. This gets compared to Aventus all the time, and as far as Bond number 9s go, this one is the closest to Aventus. I know Scent of Peace for Him gets compared to Aventus also, but this one is closer. A lot of people will say that this smells more synthetic than Aventus. Yeah, it's a Bond number 9. I mean, not to be offensive to anybody out there, but Bond number 9 is one of the most synthetic niche houses, period, in terms of how their fragrances come across. All that being said, this smells really nice, so it's going to be an honorable mention. Let's crack into it. Number 10, Shay and Blue Blood Oranges. I featured this on my last haul video, which just came out, so I've not had it all that long. The opening is obviously blood oranges, and if they screwed that up, this would be a complete failure of a fragrance, since that's the name, but they didn't. The opening's really nice, really well done, but like usual, citruses don't last all that long. In the dry down, it's a little musky, woody with some leather notes. The opening is the best part of the fragrance, but the dry down is well enough done that it's going to rank at number 10. Number 9, Amouage Sunshine Man. This is actually my second bottle of this. I ran through the other bottle, but it looks better anyway to see a full bottle because the color on it's pretty cool. This has lavender, immortelle, some boozy notes, tonka, vanilla. It is a little bit thick for being a summer fragrance because it doesn't come across super fresh and super light or anything like that, but I like it so much that it's going to rank in at number 9. This one, when it first came out, got a lot of hate, and I know it's still kind of polarizing. Some people don't really like this at all, other people really do like it. I'm one of the ones that really do like this fragrance. But all that being said, it's one that you should sample first if possible, just because it is so polarizing. Number 8, Tom Ford Costa Azzurra. This is probably the least popular of the original 3 from this line, which is Neroli Portofino, Mandarino di Amalfi, and Costa Azzurra. But to me, it's the most interesting. There's driftwood, oud, olibanum, seaweed. There are lots of notes in here that don't necessarily make you think of a summertime fragrance, and that's why I like it. It's a little bit different. That driftwood note is really cool. The seaweed doesn't come across as something like fishy. Like a lot of times if you say seaweed is in a fragrance, then people automatically think it's like a really nasty, like dirty ocean smell, but I don't get that from this. This one may be my favorite from those original 3, and this is the one that I'll wear the most of those 3 this summer. If I look like I'm sweating or anything, it's because it is humid out here. It rained not that long ago, and it is sweltering. Number 7 is Olfactive Studio Still Life. I'm a fan of Olfactive Studio, I've said it before. I actually have a 100 ml bottle of Still Life in Rio, but I'm going with Still Life for this list. It has yuzu, which is the main note. It's really well done, sparkling citrus, but different than your typical orange, grapefruit, bergamot type of citrus fragrance. There's also pink pepper in here. It's really, really nice. The performance, not so good, but if you want a citrus-based fragrance that's different than most anything else out there, super yuzu-centric, then check this one out. Number 6 has one of my favorite openings of all time, Humaniste. Unfortunately, the performance on me sucks. It doesn't last. It is what it is. It just doesn't last. The opening smells fantastic though. So while this is on my skin, it smells great. It's got a lot of citrus in the opening. It's very bright, very fresh, very uplifting. There's a gin note, which gives it kind of a little bit of a boozy feel. It's just really, really, really great smelling and does not last. Number 5, Profumum Roma Acqua Viva. This is considered to be one of the best lemon-based fragrances that you can buy. It smells like the whole lemon. The lemon skin, the lemon fruit, the lemon seeds, everything put into here. There's also some cypress, a little bit of cedar to give it a little bit of a kick with the woody base, but lemon is the main thing that you're going to get here. Very well done. Profumum aromas are very strong, so even though this is a citrus-based fragrance, I get really good performance with it. Number 4, Pineapple Vintage Intense. If you're on the fence about which pineapple vintage you should get, since there are 3 different versions, I would just go with Intense. It's the one that I think is the best. I've done a review on each iteration of this fragrance, so if you're more interested, you can go ahead and check that out on my channel. Just give a search for Pineapple Vintage. It's really well done. It gets me a lot of compliments. I do go anosmic to it very, very quickly, and if you're unaware, it's supposed to be kind of an Aventus clone that's more heavy on the pineapple aspect of the fragrance, hence the name. Number 3, Xerjoff Neo from Xerjoff's Shooting Stars collection. This is a 100 ml bottle that I got off Notino.com. I'm not sure if they have these in stock currently, but that's probably your best bet to pick one of these up if you're interested. Wait until they have it in stock on Notino. Hopefully they have a 10% off coupon and you can go ahead and scoop it up that way. This is one of the best bergamot fragrances that you can buy, but it's really expensive. There are also green notes here, vetiver, cardamom. It's mainly a citrus fragrance though. I know that there are some heavier notes in there, but what you're gonna get, especially off the top, is a really bright, uplifting, crisp, fantastic citrus note, which is mainly that bergamot. It's one of my favorite openings, and I just love wearing it in the summertime. Number 2 is going to be Creed Millesime Imperial. As far as the heavy hitter Creed fragrances go for summer, this one is my favorite. This is the bottle that I've been going through lately, but I have a couple of backup bottles, so I'm not in danger of really running out of this one. It has a salted kind of melon note, which is what it's most well known for. There are also aquatic notes in there and fruity notes, but that salted melon that you get off the top just smells fantastic. This is my absolute favorite summer Creed fragrance, so it comes in at number 2. And number 1 for this year is going to be Bergamote 22 from Labo. I actually had this made when I went to Chicago. I detailed that in one of my earlier videos. I had a 10 ml decant of this originally. I went through that 10 ml decant. Then I picked up a 30 ml decant. I went through the 30 ml decant. So then when I was in Chicago, I figured I'll go ahead and just get a full bottle made up for me. Well, it's really expensive at retail, but I've gone through so much of it, I figured might as well go ahead and get a bottle. The main thing that you're gonna get here is that bergamot. I mean, that's the name of the fragrance. And for me, it's my favorite bergamot-based fragrance to wear. Bergamot is one of my favorite notes. It's just a great citrus. It just comes across classy, fresh, bright, juicy, uplifting. It works across all kinds of different situations, and for me, it's just a little more versatile than like a summer grapefruit or orange or whatever. Bergamote's just my jam. Alright guys, that's my top 10 niche list. Thank you for sticking around. Let me know what you think about some of these. I know some of them are more popular than others, but these are ones that I really enjoy wearing. As always, thank you for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.